This week on No Fear or Favor, we spotlight the Minnesota Fair Chance Access to Housing Act, Senate File 4015. This bill seeks to improve public safety by removing barriers for housing for the over 1 million Minnesotans with a criminal background.
Hello, I'm Jamel Lundy, the Intergovernmental Relations Manager for the Hennepin County Attorney's Office, fancy word for lobbyists. I served in Minnesota House of Representatives for almost 10 years. Hennepin County is the largest county in the state of Minnesota, and the Hennepin County Attorney's Office handles almost half of the state's criminal prosecutions. Follow me as I follow the action at the Capitol with No Fear or Favor.
On February 22nd, the Minnesota Fair Chance Access to Housing Act, Senate File 4015, was heard in the Minnesota Senate Housing and Homelessness Prevention Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Minnesota's Fair Chance Access to Housing Act, Senate File 415, aims to provide fair and equitable opportunities for more than 1 million people in Minnesota with arrest or conviction histories when they are applying for housing. By creating a rental application process that focuses on relevant factors to tenancy, the law ensures decreased housing insecurity, homelessness, and increased stability after involvement in the criminal justice system. This legislation recognizes that stable housing plays a crucial role in decreasing recidivism and increasing public safety. It helps 20% of Minnesota's population as they reintegrate into society and find and maintain employment and build support networks.
Housing stability and public safety are linked. People who are formerly incarcerated are 10 times more likely to be homeless than the general public. In turn, people who are homeless are more likely to be arrested, convicted, and incarcerated than the general public. This bill will make all of Minnesota's communities safer by allowing people with conviction histories to have the stability that comes with housing. There is no evidence that excluding people with conviction histories makes communities safer.
I have been living out of transitional housing for like 3 years, but during that period, I was denied housing over like a dozen times. This made me feel hopeless and unstable. It got to the point where I spent like $1,200 in application fees just to be denied over and over again.
These rejections caused me to go through a number of horrible ordeals. After becoming a mother, I was homeless and forced to sleep in my car with my 6-month-old baby due to being rejected over and over again. One study looking at women with felony convictions who were experiencing poverty found that stable state-sponsored housing and other economic support reduced the odds of being arrested for a new crime or violating parole by 83%. How can you expect someone to turn their life around without being given a second chance to acquire a basic need like housing?
Our office first took interest in this bill after we hosted our first Hennepin County Attorney's Expungement Clinic. There we heard firsthand from the struggles individuals with criminal backgrounds have in acquiring housing.
But also kind of heartbroken that all of you are here, and I know you're here because there are barriers to employment, to housing, and it's really difficult for people to move ahead with their lives after they finish whatever it is the legal system has asked of them. And I also have to recognize I'm looking around the room, and who do I see? Not people who look like me. And so we can see tremendous disparities in the system and how the system impacts people in the community.
To hear more about why this change is so necessary, we caught up with Kevin Reese, who leads Until We Are All Free, an organization both led by formerly incarcerated that provides direct services to the formerly incarcerated.
Why do you think this bill is so important?
Someone who spent 14 and a half years incarcerated inside of Minnesota correctional facilities, and I had to raise my son through the phone. And one of the promises that I was telling him when I came home was that when I get home, son, some of these perils that you're going through is going to shift because you're going to get a chance to come live with dad. So when I came home, having a safe place to raise my son and get him through those really important years through high school was important to the development of him, myself, and our family. I had to have family with some credit and some capital at first to be able to help me co-sign to get in the park. And in order to have a safe place to raise my daughter that I had upstairs, I had to break a whole generational curse and buy a home. And most of us who's coming out of incarcerated situations don't have the time, the resources, the support to do either of the two pathways that I took to have safe housing.
We've heard a whole bunch around concerns about safety.
Safety is a concern for any employee, for any employer.
The provision does not provide me any peace of mind if my residents' safety is compromised due to the restriction on criminal background checks.
How do you respond to those concerns?
When folks don't have a place to put their flag in the ground and say, this is mine, then folks is more likely to take risks and take chances, and they don't feel the same community buy-in. They don't feel a part of the community, so it's easier for them to do something that's against the community norms, i.e. like what we consider crime. But this is a result of folks not feeling like they are a part of the community. So hell, if I got to sell a little drugs to make it better for myself, I'm not accepted by the community anyway. So that's one of the things that I've seen. Folks saying, hey, community is a real abstract term and I can't even live there. So are you sure I'm a part of that community? Versus when I've seen people that has been accepted and they have a safe place to live within that community. Human nature is you're just going to do a little bit more to take care of your block and your neighbor's block because you live there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate both your work and your advocacy, man.
If you're looking for more information on how to support this bill, please check out the link below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But until next time, this has been No Fear or Favor.